Okay, we're going to review the stuff that we did in class because I know we did it really fast, and so let's do an example together. So we're going to use multiplying fractions using the FERR method. And remember the steps stood for factoring, extending the line, reducing by canceling your ones, and rewriting what's left over. And we also threw in our positive and negatives, so I put my triangle up here so we can remember how to do it. So the example I'm going to use is negative 4/15 times 18 over 8. All right, so according to our steps, the first thing we need to do is to factor this out. We're going to factor it into our primes. So let's start with our 4. So we have 2 times 2 would be our primes for 4. For 15, we would have 3 times 5, gives me my 15. Now for my 18, that would be 9 times 2, or 2 times 9. But 9 still isn't prime. So I'm going to change my 9 to 3 times 3. For my 8, we know that it's 2 times 4. 4 is still not prime. So let's change that to 2 times 2. All right, our second step is to recognize this is really one big fraction, so we're going to extend the line. And now that it's one fraction, we can cancel anything out on the top or the bottom that's the same. So I can cancel out this 2. 2 divided by 2 is 1. 2 divided by 2 is 1. All my 2's are going to cancel. And I can cancel one of my 3's. Looks like nothing else cancels, so the only thing left is we need to rewrite. We have a 3 on the top and a 5 on the bottom. The last thing we haven't done is deal with our signs. So we have a negative times a positive. Negative times a positive. So that means my answer is going to be a negative. And we're done. It is exactly like the previous night's homework, except now we have 2 fractions to reduce instead of just 1. And that's it. All right, let's do division this time. Now, division is actually exactly the same as multiplication, but just one little trick. And that is, if we have a division sign, we need to flip this second fraction and change this to a multiplication. So that's where this extra f came from. If it was division, we're going to flip the second fraction. Leave the first one alone. So if we rewrite it, we have negative 4/15 times 45 over negative 6. Now that negative sign doesn't have to be attached to the negative 6. It could be attached to the 45. In fact, it really doesn't matter as long as that negative sign stays with that fraction. But you know what? Let's get rid of that at the very beginning. So let's worry about the negative times a negative. You see that up here? That's going to be a positive. Great. It goes away. I can just deal with the rest of the fraction. All right, so now we're back to multiplication. We're pros at this. We can do it really fast. We're going to factor top and bottom. So we factor the 4 to be 2 times 2. We factor the 15 to be 3 times 5. We factor the 45 to be 5 times 9. Oh, but 9 isn't prime. So let's change that to 3 times 3. Good, all prime. Now we're going to factor our 6 to 2 times 3. We recognize this is one big giant fraction. And now we can cancel out all of our 1's. Anything that's the same, top to bottom. So let's take a look at this here. We're going to cancel out 2 divided by 2, which is 1. We're going to cancel out 3 divided by 3, which is 1. Up, here's another 3 here we can cancel out. Oh, look, and we can also cancel out our 5's. All right, so the only thing left is going to be a 2, and we already said it's positive. Voila, we are done.